Blessings to you. This is a report from the Watchman. I'm an evangelical pastor serving in the Pacific Northwest. My goal is to provide regular 3 to 5 minute news briefs profiling current events that pertain to the church, Christianity, and the fulfillment of prophecy. First up today are several stories which speak to the rapid change of traditional values in the United States. The first story comes from southeastern Ohio. The Jackson City School District received a formal request from the Freedom from Religion Foundation to remove a picture of Jesus that is displayed in the hallway at Jackson Middle School. The letter to the district superintendent read, quote, "It is illegal for Jackson Middle School to post religious images on the walls of its school." The protest letter from the Freedom from Religion Foundation was followed up by a threatening letter from the ACLU. That letter threatened litigation if the picture of Jesus Christ was not removed from school property. Also in the news this week was a story about a principal from Heritage Elementary School in Madison, Alabama. This principal canceled a scheduled Easter egg hunt for small children and said that students should not use the word Easter, as it was perhaps offensive and an infringement on others' religious rights. It is interesting and sad to me to see how fast things are changing in our nation. In the Middle East, fighting continues in Syria. There has been no new information on the capture or use of chemical weapons, but there was a spillover of fighting into Lebanon. Lebanon officials note that Syrian helicopters and fighter jets traveled 10 to 15 miles into their airspace and fired rockets into a field. No injuries were reported. Israel reports that for 3 days in a row, Palestinians have fired rockets into the Gaza Strip. No injuries were reported, but Israeli leadership has threatened a harsh response if these unprovoked attacks continue. In Iran, the United Nations Nuclear Agency has verified that Iran is indeed working on an atomic weapon of mass destruction. A new round of talks with Iran are planned, but this latest information, which Israel has long maintained to be true, presents a huge stumbling block. In economic news, banks in Cyprus are now reopened, although there are some limits. To avoid a total shutdown of financial services, banking and government officials brokered a deal in which accounts in excess of approximately $130,000 would be reduced by about 25%. The financial crisis in Cyprus has sent ripples through the EU community. The economies of Greece and Spain are especially vulnerable. It was reported last week that Russia, Brazil, China, and India are dumping the euro en masse. This, along with the strong emergence of the digital currency, the Bitcoin, could have a significant impact on the US dollar and perhaps take us one step closer to the global economy and currency referenced in the book of Revelation. In Indonesia, a number of pastors continue to meet with government officials to protest church closures and the destruction of many church houses. On March 21st, a home church was demolished with heavy machinery. In Pakistan on Wednesday, a large crowd of Muslim men attacked Christians. They destroyed several of their shops and burned several homes. 18 Christians were injured in this incident. In Bangladesh, 3 bloggers were arrested for posting Christian information online. They were arrested on a very vague blasphemy law. They were charged with insulting Islam and the Hindu god Ram. These 3 men are facing 10 years in prison and fines which exceed $100,000. And finally, in Egypt, there has been a significant increase in kidnapping Christians in recent months. In the last 30 days, 37 Christians have been kidnapped. Pray for the strength and continued bold witness of God's people and the persecuted church. More to come soon. Remember the Galatians 6 challenge. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. God bless you.